Good evening, and welcome to another version of Exploring the Ka with host Ra Castaldo. It's like midnight over here, and I've been through a whole day of shoveling. We have about 3 feet of snow, and it is truly a winter paradise, wonderland, hellhole, all that wrapped into one outside. And my driveway, unfortunately, is on a hill, so it's really horrible when it snows like this. I mean, it took a while to get 3 cars out. So I got work in about 6 or 7 hours, but I promised myself I would do this video, or at least start this video tonight. And this is part 7 of my magic series, and it's magic series that includes Star Soldier, Astral Wars, all of this that we are, and I feel that we all are these Star Soldiers. But the thing is that I have a few things to try to explain to everybody, especially the shapeshifting topic that's come up, you know, especially when I was on Leak Project. And you see, this, first of all, there's levels of these astral wars that I mentioned, and you know, before I even get into that, let me, because some interesting things have come up too. You know, I also had an interesting guest on my show, Spiral Radio, this last Friday, Matt LaCroix, and I really respect his work and his research and everything that he's doing. But you know, he believes that all of the serpent lore and talk is all metaphors, and basically that there are not serpent-like beings. Basically, that's the impression that I got for him, that he was basically saying Enki is the good one, and that Enki, you know, helped create us, which I feel that is true. That is true, but I also feel that Enki and Enlil and these beings, these Anunnaki, are the Draco. They are, you know, serpent in nature themselves. And I feel that they almost have an artificial kind of programmed consciousness, that they do not age like we do. They do not have the same capabilities as we do. They almost are programmed to genetically alter and manipulate and do science on experiments with genetics, and they are very warlike and conquering and terraformed. It seems like they are on a programmed mission always, and I feel that they were built as a manufactured species to go on missions to create other species and terraform other worlds. And we possibly were one of these worlds. And the Gaia is a goddess, a god, everything all in one. It's a planet, its own consciousness, its own god, that they corrupted and tried to terraform. And you know, I feel there's so much more to this story that the scriptures only have a little bit of it, you know, and it's just an interpretation by somebody. So, but I do feel that, you see, if one does all of their research through books, you're only getting someone else's research. You know, you're not tapping into the holographic library, the living library that's available to us. And that's how I like to do research, is I like to explore the holographic universe out there and then see if I can back it up with books and other research. You know, not the other way around, not just go by the books and then try to figure out what the books say and see if it's somehow you can, you know, figure out and connect the dot without actually having the soul experience yourself. And that's the whole key in life, is to, I feel these beings did genetically create us, but they created this being that contained the divine spark of the universe. You know, we don't have this artificial consciousness. We have the divine spark of the creation of the universe. We are these unique beings, and I think that this Draco, with some of the DNA that they collected from the Lyrans and the Vegans and all these Orion wars that took place, that somehow when they genetically altered the already evolving primate on this world, you know, and the beings that they took on this world, and added this DNA to it that they hunted down and confiscated from other, you know, beings that were born with this divine spark. You see, I think there are different planets, are different gods, and each planet, you know, had developed maybe different beings at different times. And I mean, I don't have all the answers. I'm just trying to interpret what I pull in and what I see. And I feel that these Draco and this Leviathan being had a big part to do with this. And you could call it many names and many lores, you know, of different tales, different names for different who's, but whoever is represented by the name Leviathan is also serpent in nature. And these ancient serpent-like dragons, I really feel that they created us. They have this foreign consciousness to what we know. So if you want to call it manufactured, artificial, whatever it is, it's not the divine spark of the human soul. It's not the same soul that we have. And I feel when they created us and they saw how we contain this soul, this beautiful divine spark within us, they unplugged our consciousness, or our certain strands of our DNA, or whatever you want, however you want to put it, is they unplugged us in a way. And they did not want us to ascend to a higher level, you know, because they understood that there are realms, and higher and lower realms, and that one that contains the divine spark has access to these lower and higher realms. And they did not want us to ascend to a higher vibration than they are. You know, they do not want us to ascend. So they unplugged us, and they did not want us to have any knowledge of the gods, so to say. And at the same time is that when they unplugged us, they also created these astral thought form guardians, or gods, if you want to use that word, and to watch over our divine spark. And these are what we see as, you know, the Grigori, or, you know, some of the Watchers, or, you know, different, I think it somehow these tales of all these different beings get intermingled, and we all think of it as one thing. But I truly feel even the Goetia, you know, that they call the demons, that they originally are these astral thought form creations, or guardians that were put here to watch over us. But when they started to intermingle with us and get involved with us, that's when they got corrupted and had to be locked down in certain astral thought form prisons, and been, you know, kept away from us. And they became demonic, if you want to use that word, and corrupted, because they were after to manipulate and take over the human spirit. And they understood that if you hijack the human consciousness in the astral form, then you can manipulate the physical plane. And that's what leads me to talk about these astral wars and what's going on, because, and this shape-shifting, all of this, it ties in. You see, shape-shifting, certain things, it's been, certain aspects of it are evil in certain ways. There are shape-shifting like a reptilian host. In that case, if you want to look at somebody that's hosted by a reptilian, he's shapeshifting into some kind of, if that's possible and if that happens, that is an evil thing. It's nothing like that I'm talking about when I mention shapeshifting. I mention, like in my lineage, is that the benandanti, is that we have these abilities to transform into the astral to battle the negative elements that are taking the abundance of Gaia. What I mean by that is, okay, is that because the astral realm directly affects the physical plane, is that these evil astral entities and even humans that have devoted themselves to working with these astral entities, they are involved with ruining Gaia, okay? What I mean by that is vaccinations, hurting the children, hurting the crops, drought, famine, fires, you know, burning forests, all the destruction to Gaia is because we are losing our soul battle in the dream time, on the astral plane, on the soul plane, okay? Some of us are participating in these astral wars on a larger scale, where we are actually transforming into thought form beings to fight against these evildoers, to help cleanse the collective consciousness of the community and to protect those who are trying to steal the abundance of Gaia, the abundance of the earth, the fruits of the earth. Okay, so we have this passed down in my lineage and many others as well, is that we can shapeshift into almost like a wolf-like being, something from the forest, you know, something from Gaia, that's, you know, and we can transform into it to defend Gaia, you know, and to help cleanse the collective consciousness of the community and those we live around. And there's also ones that, you know, some of us are participating and being able to transform, like I'm saying, but at the same time we are all participating in these battles, because when we are all battling for our own souls, to unlock our own spiritual evolution, you're fighting the darkness and the light within yourself on a daily basis. And when you go to sleep, or you're in your soul time, your dream time, your spirit time, or when you're in the astral realms, this is when you are fighting your spiritual battles of yourself. And whatever happens in those spiritual battles will directly affect the physical plane and your life in the physical plane. So if you're, you know, losing the battle of your soul, all right, and you're getting corrupted and you're doing drugs and you're losing everything in your physical life is falling apart because you're losing your soul battle and you're not truly working on who you are as a spiritual person, and you're losing that soul battle, it will affect the physical world. It'll cause drought. It'll cause, you know, famine for your family, for those you love. It'll help, you know, the area that you live in. If most people are losing the soul battle in the area that you live in, then that area will experience drought, and that area will experience fires and famine. That's what's going on here, people. Don't you see that, like, what happens in our soul time directly affects our life, directly affects what happens on Gaia's physical plane. This is the spiritual battle. This is the astral wars that are taking place in all of us on a daily, nightly basis. I mean, this is what I'm getting at. And when I have this, and my lineage, and many of us that have it just dormant in us, when I say that we can transform and shapeshift in the astral, we are defending those who are losing their soul battles, those who are letting these evildoers and these demons and Goetia demons and all these evil thought form entities that are trying to manipulate us. We're battling these entities that have transformed into these monsters, because listen, all of us have these clinged to us. They are on us. Anyone who's experienced any trauma in their life, or has gotten maybe bullied in school and someone made them feel self-conscious about themselves, and then that little thought or that little feeling that that person said to you, it gets implanted in your mind and it turns into its own festering entity, because it sits with you for years and it makes you look at yourself differently in the mirror, and it festers and it grows into a monster and that monster clings to your soul. And if you don't battle that monster, you will lose the battle for your soul, and it will directly affect your physical life and the physical world around you. And everyone that gets affected by this soul battle, it affects the world, everything around us. I mean, I can't explain it any better than that. So I don't know what's evil about me saying that shapeshifting is in my lineage and I pay respect to it. I don't bow to any wolf god, but I do respect the old beliefs. You know, they believed in a wolf god called Lupercus, and the ancient Etruscans believed that, and that's how they related to these abilities. I don't relate to those abilities by praying to a wolf god. I understand its genetics and it's my DNA, and it's almost like some kind of, you know, it is some kind of holographic universe and different programs that are running almost, and we are a biological computer, you know, with this soul and this heart in us, and so we have emotions and logic, and we are this interesting creation, you know, and these entities want us to feel this way. They want us to doubt ourselves. They want us to have insecurities, you know, but we are magic. That's why this is the magic series. We are magic, and if we unlock our DNA and we unleash some of the magic within us, and we have true love, and we get polarized towards the light, then you will have true love in your heart chakra, and you will see, you will manifest magic everywhere. But at the same time, if you unlock some of your DNA and you get polarized with these abilities towards the dark, you will have true hatred and true darkness in your heart chakra, and you will manifest darkness about, you know? So equally as powerful. So it's about what you get polarized towards and what's inside you, you know? And once you unlock this, you will see the whole world is alive, and it's a living, breathing entity, and we are its library cards, you know? And it's time to access your true purpose, your true soul's purpose. It's tried to, you know, use that library card, okay? You are a cosmic dictionary. You are a cosmic, you know, beautiful creation. I mean, we are the stars. We are just matter that was created in a faraway star, and that's exactly what we are, running through us, you know? And if you activate, you know, your true potential that's just laying dormant within you, you will see that I just have a glimpse of what's going on. I mean, and I'm amazed, you know. The more I learn, the more I realize I don't really know shit yet, you know. It's just the more I realize there's so much more to learn, and it's just amazing. And you know, I will get more into this tomorrow. I have to add another Naga file. I have a whole bunch. Like I said, I have over 100 Naga files, and I have a lot of interesting stories that relate to the Naga. And so I like I said, I don't believe all this Draco is just these ancient serpents that have see, we have part of them in us. The base of our brain is the reptilian part of us, and we have a soul, though. We have more than that. But if we let that instinctual reptilian part be unlocked, you know, our DNA can be altered. You know, we can change. You can change your blood. You can cleanse your blood just by your thoughts. You see, you don't realize how powerful we really are. And unlocking our DNA is the true secret of us. Because I really feel like, whether you want to call them these beings Enki and Enlil, or, you know, Anunnaki or Draco, or whatever you want to call it, someone did step in and alter our genetics and unplugged us. That, I feel, is 100% right. Everything else from there is speculation, but I could tell you what I pull in, and how some of these ancient scriptures almost put the pieces of the puzzle, you know, help me connect the dots better. And it's truly interesting what happened. And we are the big fools, you know. We are the ones that are left with amnesia now, while these beings have preoccupied us and our consciousnesses with religion and all these astral prisons that they've created for us, while they sit and harvest and manipulate and work on our souls. And that's truly the war that's going on, is war over DNA and our souls. And I'm gonna have to say goodbye for now, because I have a long day ahead of me tomorrow, and my arms and whole body are tired from shoveling snow. But I have an interesting video. I have a Naga file to do tomorrow, and I also have an interesting video that I'm gonna go into about these Goetia demons and them being locked down in an astral prison, and some of them that were released and where they went, and interesting stuff. So stay tuned, because this is just getting started, folks. It's another Exploring the Ka with host Ra Castaldo, and I gotta say, spiral out.